Cinch Tie, made for all fishing, saltwater, freshwater, and fly fishing. The tool is milled from brass. It'll never rust. It's made in the United States. We put right on the instruction booklet that's packaged with it, made in the USA. It's the original brass knot tire. These are made in Heartland, Michigan. The tool, though simple in design, is ingenious. And when I say simple in design but ingenious, this section here, when you pull back on this little knurled knob, retracts and opens the collar. Spring-loaded, so when you release that knob, it closes. That's where you capture the end of the line. You never again have to use your teeth to secure the knot. The tool does that. If you enjoy fishing, and like myself, I've always loved to fish, I have never thought tying a fishing line knot was part of the fun of fishing. And if you still tie a fishing line knot in the traditional manner, or whatever you're putting on your line, you have to twist it. Then you have to try to get the tag in through the loops, and then you grab it with your teeth to secure it. The cinch tie does it all. It is a third hand. You position the tool in the loop between the two lines. As you move the tool in a circular motion, each time you rotate the tool, you create a twist in your line that you have to do with your fingers. Pull back on the knurled knob, opens this collar. Place the tag in under the collar and allow the tool to close. Then simply take your standing line, pull the knot over the tip of the tool. When you clear the tip, you stop. Now, if your favorite knot is the improved clinch, that's the knot where at this point, when you do it by hand, you have to try to dig that tag in out of this mess to put it through the other loop. With the tool all captured, you have a free hand. I put my two fingers near that top loop, turn the tool, and when you poke that tag in through the loop, it goes right into your fingers. Pinch on the tag end. Whatever you're tying on, you pull forward, that tightens the knot. Wet the knot. Then, holding the standing line and pulling with whatever you're tying on, the knot tightens down and is secured. A second version of a clinch knot is illustrated on the bottom of page 5 in the instruction book. It's referred to as the new improved clinch knot. And over most of the knots that are illustrated in the instruction book, there will be a number that denotes the strength of that particular knot in relation to your line strength. And the new improved clinch knot is 85% plus of your line strength. And the new improved clinch knot, unlike the improved clinch knot, the first knot we did, where you take the tag in and have to tuck it back through, the new improved clinch knot is actually reinforced right from the beginning. You insert the tool into the loop, come against one side of the loop, and you gather a wrap. So that's all reinforced. Again, into the loop, against one side of the loop, and you gather a wrap. And then in that same circular motion, as you rotate your tool, you're twisting your line that you have to do when you do it with your fingers. Pull back on that knurled knob, opens this collar, put the tag in under the collar, and you allow it to close. And then simply take your standing line and you pull the knot over the tip of the tool. When you clear the tip, you stop right there. Release the tag in, take whatever you're tying on, wet the knot, and then pull on your standing line against whatever you're tying on to secure the knot. Very, very nice knot. Strong. The next knot is the Rapala knot, and that's illustrated on the top of page 5. That's the knot that leaves a little loose noose in front of your fly or your lure. Take the end of your line and make a loose overhand, just like this. Take your lure or fly and drop it onto the line, up against that circle. Fold the line up like you normally would when you're going to tie a knot if you were going to tie it by hand. Take the tool, insert it right into that circle that we made. Then you take both lines, wrap it around the tool, allow the lure to float around 3 or 4 times. That has twisted your knot. Pull back on the knob, it opens the collar. Put your tag into the line and let it close. Then just take your standing line, pull the knot over the tip of the tool. When you clear the tip of the tool, release, take a hold of your lure, and as you're pulling at your standing line, you form the Rapala. And as I said, the beauty of this knot, there's no restrictions. Whether you cast, retrieve, or troll, the Rapala knot, loose noose, allows your bait to perform all the natural actions to attract fish. In addition to the action, that knot is rated 85 to 95% of whatever your line strength is. So it's a very strong knot so that you don't lose your fishing tackle and fish. The Rapala knot is such a nice action knot. I'd like to repeat it again, only this time using a fly as a fly fisherman would. Take the end of your leader, tip it, and make a loose overhand, half knot. Take the fly and drop it onto the line and fold the line up as though you normally would if you were tying a knot with your fingers. Insert the tool through that half knot circle we made, and then 3 or 4 twists with your tool. The line's all twisted. Pull back on the knob, opens the collar. Put the tag end of the line under the collar and allow the tool to close. Take your standing line, pull the knot over the tip of the tool. When you clear the tip, release it. Take the fly, wet the knot, and when you pull against your fly with the standing line, you form that loose knot, and it stays just like that. And that provides wonderful action. There's no restrictions, so that whether you cast and retrieve or troll, your fly has all the freedom to do the natural things to attract fish. A lot of people either don't know a good, strong knot, or they have problems tying a good, strong knot. The triene knot, illustrated on the top of page 6, is a very powerful knot. That knot is rated at 95% plus of your line strength. And the reason that knot is so powerful, it's a reinforced knot. You take the end of your line, go through the eye of your bait or hook or fly once, come right back a second time with the end of your line. So you've gone through your eye twice. If you've never done this triene knot, believe me, this is a very, very difficult knot with your bare hands. You have to fold this circle up, twist it 5 times, which is the norm, and then you try to get that tag in through the loops and the twist. Believe me, on a cold, windy day, it becomes a nightmare. With the tool, insert the tool through the circle that you made, through the loop between the 2 lines, and then again, as you move your tool in the circular motion, each time you go around, you create the twist. Pull back on the knob, opens the collar, place the tag in under the collar and allow the tool to close. Then with your standing line, pull the knot right over the tip of the tool, and as you can see, you are dragging the tag in right through the knot. release the tag in, take a hold of whatever you're tying on, and again, always wet. And when you pull the standing line against whatever you're tying on, that knot secures. If you could see inside that eye, there's a double wrap. That knot is 95% plus of whatever your line strength is. Very powerful knot. Another powerful knot is on the top of page 7 and is referred to as the double clinch. Now the double clinch is rated at 100% of whatever your line strength is. And like the triene knot, the double clinch is also a reinforced knot, meaning you pass the tag end of the line through the eye twice. However, with the double clinch, you go through from one side and then you double the line back through the eye, just like that. Now you're ended up with 4 lines, fold them right up in half, insert the tool in the loop between the lines, and make 3 or 4 wraps, twisting your line. Pull back on your knob, it opens the collar. Take the loop end underneath the collar and pull it down through the loop. Once you've cleared the tip of the tool, release the line, again wet, and pulling with the standing line against whatever you're tying on, it forms that double clinch. That knot is 100% strength of whatever your line is. Now this loop is a byproduct of the knot, and there's a little insert inside the main diagram that illustrates that. You can either leave that loop on or you can trim it off. It has absolutely no effect on the 100% strength of that knot. Excellent, powerful knot. A handy knot that's used as a loop, it's an end loop spider hitch, is on the bottom of page 7. And it can be very, very difficult at times to form an end loop. All that's required is to take the end of the line, double the line over, and then fold it again. And this is what you have. Insert the tool, and you make 2 revolutions with your tool, twisting the line. Pull back on the knob, opens the collar, take the top loop, and pull it right down through, and as you clear the tip of the tool, release it, wet the knot, and then pull against the loop with the standing line. And that's how you form an end loop. Very difficult with the fingers, very easy with the cinch tie. The next knot is listed on page 9 and 10 and referred to as the improved surgeon. The application of this knot is tying leaders and tippets, widely used by fly fishers. However, you can use this in all other fishing applications. Once you've snagged your fly, rip your fly off on a tree limb and part your tippet, you don't have to put a whole new leader on. Cut yourself a piece of tippet, take the end of your leader, and you're going to add this tippet that you just ripped off on a rock or on a tree limb. Tippet extends going to the end of your rod, just like this. Fold the 2 lines, just like this. Insert the tool in the loop between the 2 lines and make 2 revolutions, twisting your line. Pull back on the knob, opening the collar, place the tag of the leader and the standing portion of your tippet under the collar, and simply pull them through the loop. Now the tippet's longer, you just reach up and clear with your finger. Release the lines, wet, on both ends tighten, then you're going to trim the access tippet and leader, and there's a very, very strong knot. Improved surgeon. It's neat, strong, it won't jam in the eyes of your rod, and it's a very nice knot to get you right back fishing when you're on the stream. But that's a terrible knot to tie with your bare hands when the sun goes down and it's a little chilly. The next knot is illustrated on page 11 and 12. It's referred to as the snelling tip. However, this technique is utilized in the dreaded nail knot, snelling a hook, the blood snell knot, a grip knot, and a bobber stopper too. So there are 5 knots in this next section that is done with the snell tip of the tool. And the knot I'd like to illustrate is the dreaded nail knot used by fly fishermen for many, many years. And this particular knot, the nail knot, really has been abandoned by many fly fishers because of the extreme difficulty to tie it. And there have been many, many other techniques or concepts that have come on the market to replace the dreaded nail knot. However, the beauty of the nail knot joining fly line to leader with the dreaded nail knot prevents the hinge action that is noticed with other concepts. And to achieve this dreaded nail knot, take the end of your leader, and all you're going to need is 8 to 10 inches. Place it on the face of your tool, put your thumb on top of the leader, and the butt end of the leader goes right down through that snell tip. And this is illustrated on page 12, figure 1. Figure 2, it describes taking the end of your leader, coming up around the tip of the tool and back wrapping towards the thumb. I place 5 wraps side by side. You can put 6, 7, 8 if you want, but this is very powerful. Then the book tells you to take your finger, hold the wraps so they do not fly off. And then it tells you to take the butt end of your leader from the back side underneath those wraps right out through the tip. See, that's all beveled and slotted. You got plenty of room to work. And then I just gently snug the butt end up. Take your fly line, insert the fly line from the tip under the wraps. Now you can see what's going to happen. There are actually two methods. In the book, we describe, as you follow the directions, by taking your thumb and index finger, squeezing the wraps, and sliding them off onto the fly line, and then tightening. That works nice. I like this. I just take the butt end of my leader and quickly snap them off. They land loosely, side by side on the fly line. Then you can take your thumbnail right behind that last wrap, and you can slide that whole group of wraps right up closer to the tip of the fly line so you don't waste any line. And then by taking both fingernails, squeezing the wraps together, and then tightening on both ends of your leader. And you talk about a gorgeous nail knot joining fly line to leader. And then fold that last wrap back so that when you trim, push right against it. And there's no fly line left to catch on the inside eyes of your rod. It actually appears as though that leader is coming right out of the end of your fly line. And that is the beauty of a nail knot. There's no hinge action. When this is cast, the quality of the cast and the gentleness of how it lands on the water, big difference. And it's tremendously strong. Many people that buy products that come with instructions still question whether or not they can follow the directions. And many directions, they're not brief and concise. Just to illustrate how simple the tool is to use and the clarity of how the instruction book was arranged. Thread onto your line whatever you're intending to tie on. Now, you know when you tie a knot with your fingers, you have to twist, then you have to try to get the tag end through, and you grab it with your teeth. As you look at the tool and follow the directions, on page 3, figure 1, there's a picture and it explains below the picture. Insert the tool. Figure 2 on the bottom of page 3. It describes by rotating the tool. Each time you rotate it, you create a twist in your line that you do with your fingers. Figure 3 on the top of page 4 explains it by pulling back on the knurl knob, opens the collar, place the tag in under the collar, and allow the tool to close. Figure 4 shows you and it explains that by taking the standing line, pull the knot over the tip of the tool. When you clear the tip of the tool, you stop. Figure 5 on the bottom of page 4 instructs you to release the tag end, grasp whatever you're tying on, wet the knot, and when you pull on your standing line against whatever you're tying on, you form the clinch knot. That's how simple the tool is, and that's how easy the directions are to follow. The other tool we have is the true blood knot, and this was invented by Ken Kohler, the same inventor that designed and invented the cinch tie. And as you can see, they're very similar. The concepts of pulling back opens the collar and they're spring loaded. The true blood knot tool actually joins two dissimilar lines, sometimes different materials or different size lines, providing that whatever you're joining are still compatible. In order to join the lines, take one of the line, lay it across the thumb pad under the thumb. The tag end of the line goes behind the post, and by eye you'll judge 6 or 7 inches of line. Take a different size line under the thumb behind the post, and all you've done is made an X with 2 lines. The standing portions of those lines are over each post. The tag ends are behind the post. If you're right-handed, you'll be holding the tool in this manner, and you will start on the left post. If you're left-handed, you'll start on the right post. But regardless of what post you start on, you pinch those 2 lines together and wrap them both around the post, and then simply continue winding both lines towards the tip. Take your finger, hold the wraps so they don't fly off, and see you can retract in the same motion. Take the tag end of the line, slip it up underneath that collar and secure it. Shift the tool to the other hand, take the 2 lines on that post around the post, and simply continue winding towards the tip. Take your finger, hold the wraps, take the tag in, slip it up under the collar, and lock it in, and then lay the tool horizontally. Grasp both standing portions of the lines. Pull them straight off the tool. Wet the knot. And when you pull horizontally, you form a perfect true blood knot. And according to the knot experts, a perfect true blood knot always illustrates the tag ends perpendicular to the knot. And I don't care how many times you wind it, how you wind it, that's exactly how the knot comes off the tool. You don't have to leave any of the tag ends for strength or security. That knot is welded itself by virtue of the winding on and off. I trim that knot right against the side of the knot. And like all perfect true blood knots, when you join 2 dissimilar lines, it is supposed to make it flow like one continuous line with phenomenal strength. Now, if you want to build your own leaders, the true blood knot tool will do the job. In conclusion, I want everyone to know that in addition to promoting the cinch tie in the eastern United States, I use the Cinch Tie for all my fishing line knots. I enjoy fishing. I don't enjoy trying to tie fishing line knots, and I'm pretty proficient with my fingers. But I'm able to spend much more time fishing, and the fact that the high performance, powerful knots that you can tie with this tool prevents loss of fishing tackle and loss of fish.